bad news, I think.
That a lot of other people look at us and think that we're mad.
I reckon it's time to get the crowbars out and just go nuts on this shit. Gonna remove basically everything, redo the whole thing.
Of course, it's hard to think that I'm basically the youngest here and I am the one who struggles the most.
Hello and welcome back to the chaos. We're Malin and Tom, a family with zero patience and big dreams.
In hindsight, then maybe yes, it might have been stupid.
This week we're tackling the challenges of getting close to the 3-year mark of life after cancer.
Reminding yourself that life is bloody short.
At the same time as we start in the big job of changing our leaky roof. Let's see how this goes. Tag along.
Loving life.
My favourite place up here. Alright, good morning, you lot. Today's the day. Today is the day where we're at least going to find out how bad the roof is. So, sun's shining, which is good. Looks like it's going to stay dry. It's cold, a cold breeze to be honest, which I would have liked to be without. However, the main thing is that it's going to be dry. Make it a really hard job if it's raining. Almost impossible, some might say. So the plan is we're going to obviously take off the tarpaulin. That's the first job. And then we're going to start unscrewing the metal, it's like a corrugated metal plate roof. So we're going to start unscrewing that and hopefully we'll get all the way in and we'll be able to see how much water damage has been caused. And we'll go from there because it's impossible to know how big the job is before we've seen, how much timber needs changing. Apart from that, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Molin's parents are on the way, so me and Molin's dad will get up there as soon as he gets here. Molin's gone to do a day at work, so it's just us lot today. So, gonna finish my coffee, and then I don't think it'll be too long before they're here. So let's crack on.
So, as soon as my parents showed up, Tom and my dad got up on the roof and started the big job. First the cover had to come off, and then it was time to demolish the roof. Heavy parts of metal and about 1 million screws to unscrew. I bet they wish they worked as fast as I made them look on here.
Alright, here we are. It's just after lunch, only 1 o'clock, and we've got the whole of the steel, the corrugated steel off the roof, which is good, and we've managed to inspect it a little bit underneath. And I have to say, it's good news. We're positively surprised actually at how little damage there is. We found the culprit and it was around the chimney. Looks like some old screw holes where it's leaked in and basically just gathered there. So there's a couple of really rotten bits around the chimney. But then the rest of it is actually not rotten at all, which is really, really good. However, we've decided that we're still going to remove basically everything, redo the whole thing. It is old, even if it's not completely rotten underneath. We need to put down new roof liner. And obviously in order to do that, we need to remove all the wood and stuff. So today we're going to measure up and see how much timber we need. And then it's just to crack on. I think next weekend we're going to crack on big time because then we've got even more hands here to help us. So all in all, it's pretty positive, to be honest.
Alright, so it's almost exactly 3 years since I was done with my last treatment, my big surgery to remove the cancer. And honestly, I don't think it was many weeks from me getting back from the hospital until we said, let's sell the house. We had plans about selling the house before I got sick, that we paused when I got my diagnosis. But the plans changed quite a lot while I was sick. To start with, the plan was to buy another house, a different house, and just keep living the life that we had, I guess. But during cancer and after treatment, we were like, we want to make sure that we live. We want to make sure that we do what we dream about, that we live a life that we are happy with, and that we got time to spend together as a family, because life is short and you better live it while you can. So, not many weeks after I got back from my big surgery, we decided to sell the house, and not even 6 months later, we moved out of the house. Also, the week before we moved out, I was put back into the hospital for a full week.
You feeling terrible then, yeah?
Working his life, mate. So it was a lot of you on here. They told us that we were stupid. And to be honest, we probably were. But we were just so eager, we were so ready to get out of that house that just breathed cancer. And we were so ready to just get on the road, get into the van and live life the way that we wanted to live it, and not just spend every day in bed, spend every day in the hospital. Just that house breathed cancer and illness. And I think all of us were just ready to get the out. In hindsight, then maybe yes, it might have been stupid to sell everything and move into a van such a short time after treatment finished, and with me not being like recovered even from the surgery, I guess. But honestly, I also think it saved us because the life that we got in the van, it honestly healed us as a family. It changed our mindset completely. And no, of course, everything was not easy. Everything wasn't just amazing all the time. It was hard moments. Like, I was still healing from chemo, radiation therapy, surgeries, figuring out how to live with a stoma. But to be honest, I wasn't the only one healing. And to get that time together, it was what saved us, I think. And of course, it was hard days, because when we started traveling, we also moved away from everybody that used to help us. So we ended up with just us, and we didn't have help on the hard days. The days when I had my pains and I was struggling and I needed to be in bed, there was no time to be in bed. And it was a lot on Tom, who needed to sort stuff because my brain fog made me not function properly. But I also think that all the good just took over all the bad. And for us to heal together and to experience the world and to travel new places, and just life was just an adventure for us and the kids. And it was just, everything was just, I don't know, fun. And we were outside all the time. And that is such a healing process, like nature and fresh air and just being together. I honestly don't think that we would have been where we are today and as healthy as we are today if we didn't do that straight away after the treatment. Because I honestly think that it saved us as a family, and in every single way, to be honest. It gave us such a nice perspective of life, and it's still with us now. We appreciate all the little things in a completely different way to what we would have done without it, I think.
Right, we've also been discussing another thing as well. This is good. This feels positive. You know, you remember the famous shit roof? Like, the state of this is sorry. This is in a sorry state of affairs. This is done, basically. We thought, while we're already working on the roof, what we can do is take this down, remove this whole section, and actually extend the roof out instead. So it's basically like one unit, because now it's like the actual roof and then this extra bit that they built on the end of it. We're thinking that actually, yeah, we'll just extend the roof all the way out, have it come out a little bit further, and make it look like it's meant to be like that. And obviously, while we're already up there doing stuff, while we're already rebuilding, why not do it all? So I think that's the plan for this afternoon, because we've cracked on nicely. It's 2:30, so we've got a couple of hours left. I reckon it's time to get the crowbars out and just go nuts on this shit.
When the little roof was coming down, we realised how open and bright it felt on the back of the house. So, after another suck on that sweet, as the saying goes in Swedish, it means another round of thinking, we decided on not extending the roof back here. We also decided on not rebuilding the roof at all. We realised how bright and open it felt back here now, and that it might make this part of the garden feel less of a storage space and actually a part of the garden. It will also bring a lot more light into our new kitchen. And then it was time to head back up on the big roof. The last of the wood needs to come down before we call it a day, and they gave you a good go. I think they might have fancied a beer by this time. I was surprised how fast they worked and how much they got done by the time I got back from work. They even managed to get it all cleaned up and up on the trailer. Good work, team!
So after 2 years of solid van life, of travelling, of living out in the open, of living on the road and stuff like that, the time for the next chapter was looming overhead. It did actually feel like that sometimes, to be honest. But it was clear that we needed to start looking for somewhere that was a little bit more fixed, simply because Charlie was about to start school. And we wanted somewhere that we could feel like was a base, was a home sort of thing. But one thing that we were really intent on is not giving up that life, that sort of feeling of freedom, of being able to work in our own way whenever we want and however we want, and to be spending sort of as much time together as a family as possible. So our thing has always been that we don't want to put the kids into preschool and sort of after schools clubs so that we can go and work jobs that we actually don't really want to do. And that sort of mindset is like solidified after the whole cancer battle. One of the most important things is that we want to be spending as much time together as a family as possible. We want the kids to be raised in an environment where it is family orientated and that we can be together and doing fun projects together and stuff as much as possible. That was really important to us to keep that aspect from van life. So we'd bookmarked a couple of houses to go and look at, including a scruffy little cabin that was pretty much the cheapest thing on the entire market. And we did not have high expectations, let's just say that. Big day today, isn't it?
Yes, big
Are
day.
you excited?
Yes and no. We're gonna go look at a house. I don't think this is the house for us,
No.
but it did make me really excited when we found it, because it is like big enough, the garden could be good enough, but it's a few things that we found out later on that made me think I don't think this is it for us.
But after coming and looking around it for the first time, we were sort of, I suppose, pleasantly surprised. And yet, in the end, we decided to go for it. So we were really intent on taking all the things that we'd learned from van life and from life post-cancer into this new chapter sort of thing. And we really wanted it to be like an integral part of what we were doing with the cabin. We wanted to include the kids in everything. We wanted to make sure that we were doing everything as a family. We weren't interested in taking in professionals to come and build the kitchen for us, for example. We wanted to crack on and do everything ourselves. And a little bit of that is because of money, I guess. A little bit is because of stubbornness. But the vast majority of it was that we wanted to pour everything into the cabin ourselves. We wanted to work on it as a family and you know, just have a good time doing it. Because that's, I think, the main thing with this sort of mindset, this perspective shift that we've had, is that there's really only like a couple of things that are important. And that is family, well-being, and reminding yourself that life is bloody short. You never know what's around the corner, and you honestly might as well just make the most of it.
What are you doing today, Bella?
Gonna bath with the water.
Are you gonna have a swim in the pool, the paddle pool? Yeah, we bought a new one yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. And all the men are up on the roof fixing it.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good day.
Yeah.
So it's the second weekend of working on it. So last weekend they obviously took everything off and everything down, and it looked a lot better than we were hoping for, which is good. because we don't have to change as much as we were thinking that we would have to do. So we're hoping that it's going to go a bit faster this weekend as well. We got a 3-day weekend, and today we got some extra hands here to help, and tomorrow is just my mum and dad. So fingers crossed that we manage to do everything. It's supposed to be really, really nice and hot this weekend, which is good and bad, because it's going to be very, very hot for them up there on the roof, because there's no shade at all, and they're working with all these black asphalt things, which is boiling. But it's also good that it's not supposed to rain, so we take that win, I guess.
So, while me and the kids jumped in the pool, the boys up on the roof cracked on properly. They were rolling out roof liner in a speed like their life depended on it.
It feels mad that it's almost exactly 3 years ago since I got out of my big surgery, and that we managed to live 2 full years in the van, and now almost lived a full year in the cabin as well. It feels mental that we've done that much in just 3 years. It also shows us how important we think this is, and how much we want to just enjoy life and live it while we can, and not waste a second, I guess. And the mindset lives with us from both the cancer and living in the van. We want to be outside a lot because we know how healing it is. We know how good we feel from it, how much we hate being locked inside a big house and not feeling like we can just be out in this, I guess, all the time. How locked in we felt in that house when we used to live in town, and how much we love living here, and that we can enjoy similar life here that we could do in the van. It's not as much adventure, I guess. But the outside part, and being able to spend as much time as a family together as possible, and not waste any time on work that don't need to be done, or stuff that we don't enjoy doing. And yes, of course, this cabin needs a lot of work. But we try to do it ourselves, so we do it together, and we have a laugh while we're doing it. And like this weekend has just been a proof of that, or these last 2 weekends. We get people around who shows up for us and who wants to help us, and fixing the roof this weekend has been a lot of hard work, obviously, but we've also had a great time with the people who came to help us. We had nice food, we had a lot of laughs, we had good fika, ice cream. All the kids were like splashing in the pool and running around playing, and some was up on the roof trying to fix that, and some of us was painting this workshop behind me, and we just all come together, and even though we work a lot, we still have a good time together. And that is something that I think this house is also giving us, even if it's a lot of work that needs to be done, that the fact that we keep doing it ourselves despite not knowing at all what we're doing just brings us more together. And I think that's the mindset that we want to keep. Like, we want to be able to live like this, where we can come outside and enjoy nature and fresh air a lot, which we do with living in such a small space, but also trying to do it ourselves and renovating ourselves and not taking in people to do it for us. It brings us together, I think, and it gives us something fun to do together that we enjoy doing, and it's a great life, if you ask me. And I think that a lot of other people look at us and think that we're mad still. But I guess that's the good part about life, that everybody gets to do what they want to do. But I mean, I do still struggle a lot, which I've told you before, I guess. But it's so noticeable on weekends like this, because we've had so much people around and everybody's worked so hard. And I think that I work the least of everybody, but I'm also the most tired out of everybody. And the next morning, I feel like everybody else is a little bit reset, and they're like, all right, we're ready for another day. Let's get going. Let's work hard again. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. But I can feel that I'm not reset. I'm still pouring from the same cup that I was pouring from yesterday. And by the end of yesterday, I was exhausted. and I still feel it in my head now. My brain is I'm just in this bubble of brain fog, and of course it's hard to think that I'm basically the youngest here who's been here to work this weekend, and I am the one who struggles the most. And if I think about that, of course it makes me upset and it makes me sad and it's difficult and not fun and all of the above. But it's important to focus on how much is given me as well. Like doing this together with friends and family is it's just an amazing life, innit? And that's what you have to focus on. You just have to keep your mindset right and enjoy the bits that you can enjoy, and heal the bits that you have to heal on the way, I guess. Quick lunch break and they're back up on the roof, and I feel like it's going quite well. Everybody seems happy, at least. And now they're done with like the new mat. I don't know what it's called in English, like the takpapp. Tom has to translate that here for you. And now they're putting up some new regler, maybe. I don't know, some beams. I don't know any of these words in English. Barely that I know in Swedish, to be honest. But everybody seems happy at least, and it feels like it's going quite well. It's going quite fast. But I guess that's the good thing with having like extra people here to help, because if it's just me and Tom, then it's just him working and me having the kids. And now it's 2 extra people who's here to just work. So I feel like it's going really well and it feels good. It's just so hot. I feel so sorry for them up there on the roof, because we're sweating down here. And they're just up there on the black roof working really hard, bless them. But I feel like everybody's happy, so that's good. Feels good to get this done and checked off the list, to be honest.
Alright, stop nattering and get back to fixing the bloody roof. After we'd successfully laid the new roof lining, it was about time to lay the new timber, which the outer layer of corrugated metal will sit on. As you might be able to see, by this point it was absolutely roasting. So off came the shirts in an attempt to burn away our farmers' tans. It was at this point that we noticed how much the roof had sunk in some parts. But we battled the concave by building up the timber a bit and, yeah, hoped for the best. So obviously now it's coming up to almost 3 years since Malin was done with her cancer treatment. And we're working really hard to still keep reminding ourselves of like what's important. It's not always easy to keep this perspective in mind. Like sometimes I find myself getting lost in the day-to-day a little bit, and I sometimes find myself losing gratitude for what it is that we've worked really hard to build up. And like in the day-to-day of it all, like for anybody who's ever raised kids, you'll know sometimes it's bloody hard work. But one thing that I've sort of taken with me from that whole cancer battle chapter is like the understanding of how to bring that mindset back when it disappears. Like it is really that gratitude of sort of being together that's at the core of how we want to live our life. Like, and it's not to say that there aren't any negatives left from obviously from cancer, both physical and mental, you could say. And especially for Malin, she's talked really openly about like the struggles that she faces every day. Like she is an absolute warrior, and she's been through more than any person should ever have to go through in their entire lives, to be honest. So like, of course, some of that's gonna linger, and it's gonna be around for a long time. But I think having this cabin has been a really good way of keeping our feet on the ground, all of us. And being able to do all these crazy, idiotic things, like having 1 million different projects on the go at the same time, and, you know, building your own kitchen and fixing your own roof instead of getting roof layers in and stuff like that. All of that stuff is sort of like, it's what keeps us going. And obviously having family around us to help us out with these millions of projects is something that we won't ever stop being grateful for, I think. Right, morning you lot. Welcome back. Day 3 of fixing the roof, about to begin. Well, say day 3. Day 3 of weekend 2. But hopefully this is the last proper day, really. We had some minor setbacks yesterday, but we're all good now. We're on
Back on track.
We're back on track. We know at least what we're going to do today. And
Yeah, it's been a long weekend for you.
yeah, it has. It's been intense. I think that's the word, to be honest.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yesterday, I feel like you guys were a bit disheartened. I think it was like 2:30, and I was like, "How's it going?" And my dad went, "Well, we're back at where we should have started this morning now." And I thought, "Oh."
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. It was a difficult one yesterday, but we sorted it. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sorted it
Yeah.
in the end, and we're back on track now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
So you're on your way back up on the roof now.
yes, I'm going back up
And,
now.
I'm gonna go and start painting.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, me and my
Exciting.
mum has cracked on with the outside of the house while you've been on the roof.
That is really exciting. It's going to look so good.
Yeah.
Did you tell him that we're going to change some of the colour?
No, I have
No,
not.
not the reds. It's still going to be reds,
Yeah.
but we're changing all the trim to white.
Yeah.
It's black now, and obviously it looks shabby and stuff. And we originally thought, oh, it's going to look nice when it's freshened up and black. But then you had an idea, didn't you, about
Yeah.
maybe changing it a little bit.
I just looked at all the houses around us, all the 3. And they're red with white, and I just thought, like, it looks so fresh compared to our black. Like, ours look dark and dingy,
Yeah,
and theirs look, like, nice and fresh. And I thought, you know what?
yeah.
Just swap it around.
It is the
Paint it.
classic Swedish cabin colour, isn't it?
is,
The red
yeah.
and
Red
white.
and white, yeah.
And it's classic for a reason, I think.
Yeah, it looks really good. And I tried it on the shed yesterday, on the workshop, sorry. We painted half a wall because the kids wanted to paint. And then I tried to change the black to white, and it's going to look amazing.
It's going to look really good. Yeah, yeah. Make a big difference, that.
Yeah. All right, back up on the roof.
Yes. Well, I'm
Off you
going.
go.
I'm
Off
going.
you go.
I'm going.
So here you can obviously see that I've changed this to white instead of black, and the bottom bit we painted with new red, and the top bit is still the old red. I am going to keep painting this today, and probably just finish off the red, and then this is going to be white, and I think it's going to look really good. It's a lot of work though, but we're getting there.
Happy to be back.
Loving life.
My favourite place up here. Thinking about putting a hammock up here. When it's all done, when it's all finished. Little deck chair, a hammock, little mini fridge.
Yeah, know what I got you at least, don't I?
Yeah, exactly. It's nice.
Feels like home.
Yeah.
So, Tom and my dad got back up on the roof for the 3rd day this weekend, and I could tell that they were both sore from all the hard work the previous days.
When the time came to screw the roof back down, we realised the screw holes didn't match up with the new timber that we'd laid. Probably because the previous roof layers had used wonky wood that they just had lying around. So we discussed options and decided on the quicker, cheaper fix of simply unscrewing and moving the beam slightly. After that, all that was left was to screw in the hundreds of screws and, cry about how sore my knees were.
We're so incredibly thankful for our family who showed up and helped us all weekend. Everyone has worked so hard on the roof, cleaning and painting our sheds, helping with our kids, making food and drinks in the heat. We will never take that for granted, and despite all the hard work, we still managed to have a great weekend. And with this, we say thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Fucking hell, see how that goes for you, editor. Glad it's not me that edits these fucking videos. I've lost it. I've gone into mushy brain mode. Sorry. Does that make sense? Am I making sense there?